Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that share button if you haven't already. Okay, today we're going to be talking about why women disappear and go ghost on you. All right? This is a question that a lot of men are asking, that guys are facing day to day in the process of getting to know a woman. But before I get started, I just want to let you know, men ghost women as well as women ghost men. All right? There's a girl out there, typically when you're dealing with a beta male, these are the beta male struggles. You're going to come across a girl that likes you to death, but you don't like her because she's not that good looking. But then you're going to appear alpha to her, and she's going to continue to try to like you, but you're not going to like her because you're not attracted to her. But you appear alpha to her because you're showing signs of not liking her. Well, guess what? That gets played out as well whenever you go to like a woman that you're very attracted to, but she's not that attractive to you. So understand, when you're dealing with a relationship, there's always someone that's going to be hurt. There's always one that likes one more than the other. It's just that when it hits home and it happens to you, you take it personally because you've gotten your emotions involved into it. All right? So first we're going to talk about what is ghosting. All right? Ghosting is when you establish a relationship with someone through communication, whether it's social media or whether it's text messaging back and forth or talking on the phone. You establish a friendship, and then one day they just stop communicating with you whatsoever. They stop talking to you. They stop calling you. They stop text messaging you. And in today's world, most of these girls, when they stop texting you and they stop calling you, they do it on social media as well. They're just blocking people off completely, blocking them off of social media and blocking them out of the phone so that person can't call them. And there's a reason why they're doing that, and we're going to discuss that later on. But first, before you can get to the point where you're getting ghosted or why you're being ghosted, you must first notice the signs that were building up that you didn't notice at first. So the first sign that you're about to get ghosted or why you got ghosted is when she stopped replying to your messages. All right? See, before she stopped replying, you have to also look at this. Were you the one initiating the conversation? If you were the one that's always initiating the conversation and she's never been replying, those were signs that were getting ready to build up that you were actually getting ready to get ghosted. Now, when you go to attempt to talk to a woman and she's not showing signs that she's going to respond, but you're just happy to have the number, the reason why you feel that way is because the little bit of time that you guys did talk to each other, when you were getting to know each other before you got the number, she was real friendly. She led you to believe that she actually had interest in you. And this is what causes you to want to continue to talk to her, because you start telling yourself, okay, she's busy. Okay, something came up. You start actually giving her excuses before she gives you excuses. So when she does give you one of the excuses, you're like, oh, I was right. You start to feel like you were right about it. So you must understand that when you're starting to do the initiation and she's not responding back, it's because she's sitting there thinking like, how can I cut this guy off without hurting his feelings? And the reason why she feels that way is because she has ghosted before. This is not going to be her first time ghosting. Girls normally are gonna ghost more men in their life than they're actually going to date. So don't feel bad if you got ghosted. Just understand that it built up with her not responding, all right? Now, when it comes to the text messages and she's not responding to your text messages, what you have to understand on that end, not only is she's prepared to leave you, but there's also somebody else there, all right? When women date, they do not date one guy at a time. They date multiple guys at a time, even when they're showing signs of being a genuine person. They're still talking to more guys at once. All right. The next thing that you had to notice, or that you're going to notice, is that she keeps everything short and sweet if she responds. If she responds, she'll start keeping everything short and sweet with your relationship. How's work? Fine. Are you doing this? Yes. Are you doing that? No. Everything's going to be short and sweet with her because she really don't want to talk to you. She's just building up the momentum to tell you that I don't want to talk to you anymore. So what do you do whenever these situations start coming across? You're not supposed to be texting her at all. Keep that in mind. Never text a woman. The only time you need to text a woman is when it's business. It's when you're establishing a date or you're establishing some way to make money. Other than that, you don't need to be texting a woman at all just to ask her how her day is. Keep it business. Never keep it personal. As long as you keep it business, you'll be okay. When you try to keep it personal, that's the fastest way to wear yourself out with a woman because you've already sat up and talked too much about her. By the time she get around to ghosting, she already knows too much information about you. All right, next, you start to feel it in your gut. Now, a lot of ghosting come from the man, the beta male, being naive himself. A lot of you guys know the difference between a woman liking you and a woman not liking you, which is why you have to always go back to the girl that did like you, but you just didn't like her because she wasn't attractive. You have to think about every time that she went to talk to you, how you felt. It's the same thing with a woman. If you did something to draw her off or she never initially liked you, she's gonna start acting towards you the same way that you were acting towards the ugly girl. So deep down in your heart, you got the gut feeling, you're like, you know what, man? I know she really don't like me, because you start to feel like that girl that you didn't want to date, that wanted to like you, but you didn't like her back. So you have to understand, you're gonna always feel this in your gut, that she's not quite as interested in you as you are to her. All right? Next, we're gonna go into why women ghost on men. All right? A lot of women that ghost on men are scared of conflict. So it's easy for them to just say, you know what, I'm just not gonna call him. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna block him from text messaging. I'm gonna block him from social media. Out of sight, out of mind. That's how a woman looks at it. Out of sight, out of mind. But you have to understand, when they're doing the out of sight, out of mind situation, it's because you're not the only guy that she's ghosted before. Remember, women are going to do more ghosting than anything when it comes to dating and when it comes to communication with men. They are going to do the most ghosting because they have more guys that are coming after them. So they constantly have a different choices that she could go to immediately. So when it comes to ghosting and they're just like, all right, I'm cutting everything off, it's simply because they're scared of conflict, but they know that they can get away with it. It's not their first time ghosting. So she's trying to prevent the tears. She's trying to prevent the why. She don't want to have to explain to you why she doesn't want to talk to you anymore, because she don't want you to feel like you've done something wrong when she know the whole time you've done everything right. So she plays that role where it's like, all right, I don't want to deal with this, because technically in her heart, she's like, I'm being a bad person by not communicating with him. I'm being a bad person by not telling him how I want to feel, but I have to make myself happy. He'll get over it. And she realizes that she's going to be doing more ghosting in her life than she is actually dating, because she has so many options to choose from. All right? Now we're going to go into another part of why she's ghosting you. A lot of these women are suffering from depression, anxiety. So when they go to ghost you sometimes, it's actually them separating themselves from people in general. It's just that with you being a beta guy, you feel like you can find a way to make her happy. You feel like you can actually fix her. So you go along with her depression. You play against her anxiety, and you still try to make her smile. You still try to make her be happy. But all she do is just keep getting further away from you and further away from you. And if you is in her company, then she's probably going to treat you bad. So you have to understand, a lot of this depression and anxiety equals to you getting ghosts, because a lot of women that are depressed, they want a man that's going to talk to them bad. They want a man that's going to talk to them like, shut up, get over here, do that. They really want you to mistreat them. All depressed women are going to always go with the guy that beats them. They're going to always go with the guy that treats them bad because that's how they feel inside. So if she ghosts you and she was suffering from depression, it was actually a ghost to keep from hurting you. See, she may feel like, all right, I'm going to hurt this guy. Let me just completely get away from him whatsoever, because she wants a guy that suffered from depression that's just as deep as her depression. Now we're going to talk about why it hurts so bad. Why it hurts so bad whenever you get ghosted. The reason why it hurts so bad whenever you get ghosted, honestly, is because you thought you and that person actually had a connection. You thought you and that person was actually about to become something. That's the problem why it hurts so bad. You've led yourself to believe that if I do all the beta things that I was taught to do, this girl is already working in my favor and it's gonna work. That's the problem. You put your hopes up so fast because you came across someone that fits the description of somebody that you wanted to love. And when they just up and disappear on you, that hurts. And the reason why it hurts is because you made that person your drug. Every time you spoke to that person, you got these butterflies in your stomach and your body started releasing dopamine. The more you talk to them, the more dopamine releases. Dopamine releases through your body. Got you getting that gully feeling. That feeling of feeling like, all right, it's getting ready to work. Then when she ups and just completely disappears on you and she cuts you off completely and you're sitting around like, man, I done did everything perfect. I've done everything perfect. There's no way she's not talking to me. There's no way she's not treating me like this, but she is. Because you overlooked all the little details that was building up to let you know that she was getting ready to ghost you, that she really didn't like you, and she was only using your neediness to fulfill her own personal void that she had going on in her life. That's what you have to realize. And you have to understand that part quickly, that it is going to hurt. But the fastest way for you to get over it is to keep taking in that red pill knowledge, but also looking in the mirror and telling yourself, okay, these are the reasons why I got ghosted. I showed signs of being needy, her interest level was low, or she was suffering from depression and she needed somebody to treat her bad and you were just trying to treat her too good. Some girls are programmed like that. Hopefully I was able to help you out with why you got ghosted and why she disappears. Just always think about the girl that you didn't want, that you could have had, that you wasn't attracted to. This is Anthony Spade. Hasta la vista.